Hi, I'm Philip Sparks.
And I'm Séan Herron. And in this video today, we're going to show you how to make the easiest swing in golf for senior golfers. And that's what's coming up right now in this video.
So Séan, tell me when we see senior golfers on the tee, what are the main problems that you see?
Well, in a word, a wooden golf swing.
Yeah, wooden. Wooden, kind of stiff, short swing.
Wooden, fast.
Fast, yeah.
Tense.
Tense. And where is this all coming from? What's the problem?
Well, I think it's pretty much coming from the fact that, you know, a lot of golf instruction is directed towards the top players in the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who can touch their toes, basically.
Yeah, they're athletic, yeah.
They're athletic, and we get all these visuals and commentary, and we're told to model them, and it's actually physically impossible to model some of these golfers, especially when we're getting older.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And just so you know, folks, both Séan and myself, we're both senior golfers.
I just qualified this year.
And I'm well into it. So I'm 65 next month. So yeah, we're senior golfers, and we can show you what a senior golf swing looks like and what it could look like.
And what it could look like, yeah. Okay.
Séan, show us.
So I also see a lot of the focus just being on the ball as well. Tight, I can hear it in my voice. Tight. Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Hard work and very restricted. What would we have to do to change that and to make it this easier swing for senior golfers? What have we got to change, Séan?
Well, we're going to have to break a few rules, Philip.
You are.
We're going to have to break a few rules.
I thought you might.
Yeah, because, as I said, the golf swing is taught for the very top players. So we are not top players. So we need to break some rules in order to have the movement.
Find things that we can do that they...
Find things that we can do with this tool that match something similar to what they do. But they don't swing the golf club to here. They swing the golf club to here and to here. So what can we do for seniors to help them achieve the positions that we see the top players do?
Yeah, yeah. So thinking about this, I mean, one of the things we see with that restricted movement is a lack of turn, lack of rotation. So can you think of kind of one simple thing that a golfer could do that would actually allow them to turn a lot easier?
I can think of one thing, yes.
That's great, yeah.
There's actually three things, but the first thing that definitely comes to mind for me is this foot planted on the ground. So I'd just like to talk about this a little bit more, because let's look at all the great players.
Yeah.
And even some of the current players today, but all the great players, even up to the Jack Nicklaus era.
Yeah, Ben Hogan, Walter Hagen, Sam Snead, Jack Nicklaus.
Pretty much every single golfer before Jack Nicklaus came along.
Yeah.
You know,
would lift that left heel.
Would have lifted that left heel.
Yeah.
And this enables them to turn. If I keep this heel on the floor, then my turn becomes...
You're restricted.
For me to turn more than this, I feel the tension in my back. And let's remember, tension is an absolute no-no.
Yeah.
It's an
so
absolute
if you were
no-no.
young, lithe, athletic, you probably could do that. But when you're a senior, that's going to get really difficult.
Very, very, very difficult, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we could simply just release that left heel off the ground and allow it to rise a little bit.
Allow it to respond to the turn that wants to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, you know, as you say, Séan, a lot of the players don't do that because they're athletic and they're elite players, top players. The thing that you can do is you can let that come off. And you're not alone, because there are some players that are doing this. Bryson DeChambeau is doing this.
Bubba Watson.
Bubba Watson, Francesco Molinari. And recently, Justin Thomas has even been quoted to say that when he wants a bit of extra juice, he lets his left heel come off the ground. So you're not breaking any rules by doing this, but you're just breaking some preconceptions.
I actually think this move is coming back into the game.
Yeah, it's coming back
more,
into the game.
because they're all damaging themselves. They're all damaging their backs.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't really understand why it ever went away. But without getting into that, I think there's room for this, and for a senior golfer, I would put this down as an absolute essential.
Yeah, I agree. That's really at the core, isn't it?
That's at
Once
the core.
that's released, getting that rotation of the shoulders, if you look at it simply, I mean, I'll take my shoulders to a maximum rotation at my age that I can do with that left heel on the ground, and I can get like just over 45 degrees, maybe 60 degrees at a pinch. But if the minute I let that left heel come off the ground, I can get 90 degrees.
And that's where the power comes
anything.
from. The power comes from that turn.
Yeah. Anything else then, Séan? So we talked about, stiffness and woodenness. What about in this kind of lead arm here? Yeah.
So just do this at home, folks. Do it right now. Stick your arm out in front of you and lock it tight. Tension, tension. Tension is an absolute no-no. Your muscles contract, everything shortens, you lose swing speed. This creates tension. So letting this relax, letting it go supple, letting it bend on the backswing.
So it's not essential to have that arm absolutely straight?
It's absolutely not essential.
So naturally our arms will straighten, and there is another element of that, and that is once you start to build some momentum in your swing, if you're relaxed, that club head is trying to pull away from you, it will actually pull your arms straight through impact as well.
Exactly.
So you don't need to try and make them straight.
That's a good point to mention, yeah.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are new to the Easiest Swing and you haven't heard of us before, we've actually got a book on our website, and you can download the start of the book, the first couple of chapters of the book, for free. It's called Positive Impact Golf, and it was written by Brian Sparks, the founder of the Easiest Swing. And this book has sold tens of thousands of copies. And when I read it, it completely changed my perspective on golf for good. So I really recommend you go to the website easiestswing.com and you download the first couple of chapters of this book, and that'll give you a very good perspective of our philosophy and what we do.
Anything else that is restrictive that might be stopping people getting through the ball and actually completing their swing?
There is, Philip, there is.
Is it this?
And it's that. And this might surprise some of you who've never heard of the Easiest Swing before. But let me just tell you what it is, and let me back it up a little bit with the why. So yes, it's about the head. Now, we're suggesting that you allow the head to move. Wait right there a second. Just let me explain. Tony Jacklin was once asked, what's the worst instruction in golf?
Yeah.
The worst single instruction in golf. And he said, keep your head still. Those are the words that came out of his mouth.
Ruined his game, apparently, you reckon, from when he won the Open back-to-back, US and British Open. After that, he got told to keep his head down because his game was going off a little bit, and he reckons it wrecked his game. Yeah.
If you look closely at some of the players, they allow their head to move. Just look up the Hogan grid on YouTube. You will see his head move at least 2 to 3 inches on the backswing. So the pros actually move their head. It might not look like that on the camera, but there is a slight movement. And again, we are not top players, so we haven't got the athleticism to make a big turn and to stay right here. We are, again, the throwing. Try throwing from this position. You allow your weight to shift.
Yeah.
So if we allow our head to move, we can allow our weight to shift.
That's terrific. I love that. And what about through the ball then, Séan? Because again, what we hear is so much about it is people being told to keep their head down. Don't you hear every bad shot on the golf course, you get told, oh, you brought your head up. If only golf were that simple, that you only had to do one thing, which was to keep your head down, and that would cure everything, we'd all be great players. But that tip doesn't work. It does not work. Trying to keep your head down is not going to correct things. So actually, the next thing we need to do is to actually complete the swing and finish the swing in the follow through.
And allow the head to come through.
You cannot do that as a senior golfer with your head held down here. It's just not going to work. You'll end up with that stunted follow through like Séan showed us a few moments ago.
Now, of course, what Philip's just said is allowing your head to follow through. You know, as you get to know the easiest swing more, we will actually encourage you to let the head move even forward towards the target through impact.
Yeah.
And if we look at the most successful golfer of all time, she is a female golfer, but she is the most successful golfer of all time, Annika Sorenstam. And this, just watch a video. This is her head movement
And the teaching up on the right.
through the ball.
Taking on the bit into her face, pitch at the front, let it release. This one looking good.
Down off the bank. Oh yeah, it's very good. The queen of the hybrid, you'll see that a lot in the women's game. The men are taking the long lines.
Séan, having wrapped all of that up, could you show us the difference between that swing you showed us a moment ago and a swing where you actually allow that left heel to move a little bit, you soften the left arm, you allow your head a little bit of movement in the swing and follow through? Can we have a look and see what that looks like?
Absolutely. Okay, little practice swing.
Nice shot, Séan. And so much freer.
Thank you, Philip. So much freer, so much less tension.
Yeah, yeah. And the interesting thing is that in doing it that way, Séan, you're freer, more relaxed, it's a bigger, fuller swing, but you're less likely to injure yourself doing it that way.
Absolutely.
The short, tight swing is likely to cause you pain and discomfort.
And Philip, that is great news for senior golfers, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
You know, we have a lot of students of the easiest swing that are playing golf well into their 80s, into their 90s. And I'm not talking about just once a week. They're playing regularly throughout the week because they're coming off not feeling exhausted, not feeling stiff, not hurting themselves.
So that's interesting. So this is a bigger, fuller swing that's more relaxed, but it actually takes less effort then than the short, fast swing. That's taking more effort and using more energy. So people are getting tired before they should do using that short, stiff swing.
Yeah.
So it's really counterintuitive. You're using a bigger swing with more movement, but it's actually taking less energy out of you. It's really strange.
It's really
That's
strange.
how it works.
And you're actually getting more control over the golf ball.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, absolutely.
This might feel way out of control here, but with a little bit of practice, you'll be so surprised of how much control, how much more control you actually have of that golf ball.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, would you like to
Yeah, shall I do a demonstration of...
Why not? Why don't you do a demonstration of what you see
in the senior golfer?
in the senior golfer.
Okay.
And then...
So again, what I'm going to actually do this isn't my normal swing, but I'm going to demonstrate like Séan did before of the things that we see wrong. So what I'm going to have to do in order to replicate this senior swing is plant that left heel, not move it. That's going to get stuck to the ground. I'm going to make my arms go rigid and tight. My grip's tighter than normal as well. And already I'm feeling like I'm going to struggle to get the golf club much further back than this on the backswing, but I'll have a go. Anyway, let's see what we can do. And
are you okay?
That hurt my wrist actually, but I'm okay. But again, I had to keep my head very still and keep my head really down through the swing. And as you could see, it really restricted my
painful
follow
watching you,
through.
Phil. I was really concerned for your safety there, to be honest.
I certainly wouldn't want to play golf like that regularly, Séan. So if we see, by contrast to that, what I would be looking to do, which is to loosen up my wrists, arms, shoulders, much looser grip, okay? Like Séan says, letting go of control to gain control. So I'm loosening up. I'm going to let my left heel come off the ground in the backswing. And I'm going to let my head move. And finish here, my head coming up through the ball.
The easiest swing in golf for senior golfers, it'll add more distance to your shots as well as prolonging your golfing life. This swing will not give you any injuries and it'll prolong your golfing life for at least 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thanks very much for watching, folks. If you like the video, please subscribe and make sure to share it with your friends. If you share it with your friends, we all get to win because your friends get better, they push you to get better, we all get better at this game.
Terrific. Thank you, Séan.
Thank you, Philip.